because he was too lazy. What's up, y'all? It's Ninjameliodaku, and I'm here again with
banragto.
Yes, I know I started my intro a bit later than his, but again, he got us sitting behind the trash can. And no, we ain't out here dumpster diving.
Oh, we out here begging for money like homeless.
No, the hell we ain't.
We with that boy JD.
Hell nah.
The dude we playing with.
Nah, his ass just followed us.
Yeah, he followed us. That boy, he been in the back of the
He went and asked his granny could he follow us because he wanted to be hard. First he was an op. Now he want to be hard.
Snitch. They got me bad.
So shit, his ass started snitching again. I'm taking off on him.
I get a walk part of me.
But so hey, bruh, is you ready to start?
Yeah.
This is part 5, and
I know we was just two.
yeah, it's 2.
Oh.
It's 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
Cause Nagi scored after I scored. No, who scored? You scored first, didn't it? And then I scored after, cause he had scored. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, since I can't remember where we was at, I'm gonna start at a new spot since I did not listen to it. Like, I usually watch these before, we start the next part. But I'm working on Ninjameliodaku right now, and I'm trying to see where I want to go with this. Cause right now we're on the the training part where it's Deku, and I'm thinking of putting Killua. It's gonna be Deku and Killua versus Bakugo and Todoroki.
Killua was in Deku.
No, it's
in My Hero Academia.
no. So basically, how it started was he got struck by lightning after getting bullied by Class 1A and shit. Besides Momo, this new girl who I added in named Rose. No, or Raka, she don't like him. She was one of the ones, right? With Kirishima and them. So everybody who's in Class 1A does not like him. Besides Todoroki, who went to a different school because rich, or he was probably homeschooled. Momo, same, probably homeschooled or went to a different school. And Rose, who obviously was with her sister Momo, right? So,
hold on, y'all. I do watch this video. I just don't like My Hero Academia.
yeah, he said My Hero Academia is ass. Sorry about the traffic. Yes, we out here again sitting behind the trash can. We're going around like 20 minutes from now. During the video, we're probably gonna start walking back to the house. Bro, you got one singular hair sticking up looking like alfalfa. And it did not lay down. No, it's just one.
Yeah, I'm actually sleepy, to be honest.
Now it's kind of leaning. All right, come on, let's start. You ready? So, since I said we're just gonna start from a place, Rayo is gonna be kind of weirded out by.
I remember where we was at. Remember the time? Y'all were talking about them bitches. Them bitches. Them old. Remember?
Oh yeah, the bitches.
That face get you them bitch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, so we're gonna start from there because I'm pretty sure we had continued past that part, but he got off the phone with his hoes, and he said the only real hoe for me is Nagi, and I said, wait, hold on, what? And I look at Kisei, I said, Kisei, how many girls you just had last night?
I said 3.
I said, hey yo Rayo, how many bitches you had last night? He said Nagi. Nagi looked at him. He said, what?
I'm like, no. Some fruitcakes. Now, niggas, baby. That's just that.
And Chigiri gonna walk up to him and slap Kisei on the back of the head saying, you got 2 gay teammates. Shut up. And Rayo gonna think that Chigiri is the girl. So he gonna walk up to Chigiri and start playing with his hair. He said, hey, yo, baby girl, come play with my team.
Got me. Look at him.
I said, ain't no way. Bro, they're trying to rizz up yo. He trying to rizz up Tigre.
Yo, nigga.
And he gonna be.
You already know how Kunigami left leg is.
Kunigami go walk up to him. Kunigami. Who the fuck is Kunigami? Damn. Kunigami gonna walk up to him. And he's gonna say, hey, get your hands up off him before I beat your ass. I say, hey, yo, Kunigami, how about you don't beat their ass?
Yeah, because we don't need
And
to
you and
check
Tiggery go on them and show them that y'all coupleship is better than theirs. And he gonna say, I like that point. And I say, I'll walk up to Keisei and say, I just pulled that shit out my ass. I don't even know what the hell couplementship is.
I'm like, is that even a word?
I doubt it is.
I'm like, you know they finna get their ass clapped like that already.
I'm saying, nah, they could probably get a point with Chigiri's speed right now.
Point.
Yeah, a point. Not they can't win by themselves, but I told them to get a point. That's all they need. And then it's gonna be Botcher and Isagi's turn to get the last two.
Then it's gonna be my turn. Wait, what?
Yeah.
The last two.
Yeah. Botcher and Isagi.
I need to score again.
Bro, everybody on this team has more points than Botcher and Isagi at this point.
Not Nico.
Oh yeah, that's because Nico, he's automatically gonna get in. And he'd be like, what do you mean? And I'd say, well, I talked to my father, and he was like, he needs Nico for something. And Nico's gonna be there. I mean, he obviously still scored points with his team. Because, you know, when we played Team Z, he also played a team. So he already got points under his belt. It's just Team Z players who don't got points under their belts. And Kunigami and Chigiri, they only have one more point than Botcher and Isagi. So we both need them two to get a point in. And Kisei'd be like, what do you mean? They have more points than them. I'd say, but not from Team Z. You remember that match we played against them? How only Chigiri and Kunigami scored, right? And he'd be like, yeah. And I'd say, well, as you see, turns out they played against a team known as Team W before us. Because before we played Team Z, we played some random team, which I did not say. And they played against Team W. I mean, ain't that Team W? Yeah, with no, it's Team Y. It's Team Y with Barra. So they played against Team Y, and they Kunigami and Chigiri both got points because they found out that they could get along together because their weapons work good together. That's why they have more points than Isagi and Botcher. And Isagi and Botcher would say, then how about you let us get these next 2 points then? I'd say, but then, and I'd say, oh yeah, because if I let Chigiri and these Kunigami get another point, they'll have more than them again. I'd say, yo, Kisei, we got to stop those two. The Kisei would say, fine, I'll stop Chigiri, you stop Kunigami. I'd say, bet. So I'd dash off, and he'd dash past me. I'd say, that's why it's a dude that's faster than you, you piece of shit. And he'd stop.
What dude?
And he'd stop, turn around, yelling, what dude? And I'd dash past him, stealing the ball. I'd say, pay attention, Botcher. And he'd say, my name ain't Botcher. I'd say, I wasn't talking to you. And then he'd see Botcher jump over his head. And then he'd see him kick the ball to Isagi, who would score. And they'd be shocked. They'd say, did he just steal from his own teammates? And Kunigami and Chigiri would stop. They'd say, why did you take the ball? I'd say, well, you see, we need everyone on our team to pass into the next selection. Meaning all of us has to have this around the same amount of points, even though, you know, me and Kisei has more points than you guys.
Over 500 billion.
False.
Over 9,000.
Because you know our first game where we played against that random team? Yeah, I scored 3 and Kisei scored 2. And then that's why I've been letting Kisei get more points than me in. And then I go back and get more points than him. It's because I already have more points in total than him. And Kisei would look at me, he'd say, how many points you got then? I'd say, I have 25 points. How many do you have? And he'd scoff saying, I have 19. I'd say we haven't even played that many games. And he'd say it doesn't matter. I still have 19 billion.
I'm like, how long I got to plan? The ball. I'm gonna catch up to you right now.
I'd say you can't do that.
I can't.
I'd say, well, I'll just keep the ball away from you and let Botcher score.
Oh, I'm gonna score 4 points for the team.
For them. I mean, I guess that'll work, but...
No, 3 points, because they got 1.
I mean, I guess that'll work, but you know I'm not going to let you score on me, right?
I'm like, come on, just let me score these points.
That's it. Even with those points, you wouldn't catch up. You have 19. You'll need 5. 2, 6. Yeah, you'll need 6. And Ego would come over the intercom saying, well, if you can get it 4-4, but 4, the timer hits 25 minutes left, then I'll let you guys go over, and the first team to make it to 10, or whoever has the most before time runs out win. I'd say, so you gonna take that challenge, Kisei?
I say, shut up, I'm in front of you. Nah, dash, straight passing with the ball.
I'd say, hey yo, Chigiri, you just gonna let him dash? And Chigiri would start catching up to him saying, he's a fruitcake. I'd say, ain't you the fruitcake?
The fruity one.
And then Chigiri would steal the ball once he was distracted by his comment, and he'd pass it to Kunigami, who would pass it to Bachira, who was in front of the goal. But you know Kisei, who's being stubborn, wouldn't let that slide. And so he would start running, and he'd slide. But then all of a sudden, Bachira would use his monster dance. And Kisei would be shocked. He'd say, is this an improved version of the first time you used it? And so he'd do a handstand, kicking the ball in the air. But then he'd see Sagi using Mai and Shido's kick, where, you know, the aerial combat where you jump, hit a kind of a backflip and do the bicycle kick. Yeah, he'd do that, and he'd score the ball in. I'd say, hey,
oh hell nah, he just stole my move.
I'd say, hey, cuz, why you using my move again? And I said, hey, yo, Kisei, where you learned that move from? It was kind of clean. Where you learned that from? And Kisei would look at me and he'd say, what do you mean? And he'd just look at me, looking at him while he's still doing the handstand. I say, hey, yo, do it again. I wasn't paying attention last time.
I'm like, no. No, damn it.
I say, don't worry. I'll look at the game review since we got that option.
Ego. We just gonna get Ego to delete game first.
I mean, it automatically goes to our system, so he'd have to go to our computers to delete it. And I won't let him delete it before I get there.
Man, he gonna get a bazooka and shoot your ass.
Man, that bazooka ain't gonna catch me.
You're not fast.
I'm fast enough that I'm almost as fast as Chigiri, aren't I? So I'm fast enough, I'd say. And I'd look and I'd say, hey, yo, Chigiri, nice steal. He'd say, well, he is an idiot.
I'm like, oh, hell no. I'd be like, hey, yo, Rio, pass me. Rayo, pass me, boss at Rio.
I'd say, hey, yo. And he'd say, no. My passes only go to my,
I'm like, shut the fuck up. And I'll dash and take the ball. I think I'll Nisha.
Nisha here?
Look, you just see this. Look, she see this. Oh, she see us. What had to go? Pause it.
Can yours be paused? Sorry about the inconvenience, but my cousin's going to do something. I'm about to, you'll see.
No. That'll be funny. Yep, that'll be so funny. What was the part we left off on? Oh, yeah, I'm going to tell Ego to delete all footage, you know.
I'd say, hey, yo, Kisei, you do realize that next point we win, right?
I'm like, y'all ain't finna win.
I mean, you still on our team, so you will win with us. And if you saw them images, I was looking up something. Don't worry, I'll find it when I'm Yeah, I was looking up something for my the Kilo Deku.
But I'm saying, hey, now you so trash that you gotta let Rayo pass you the ball for you to score.
I'd say, hey, yo, Kisei, you so slow that every time you get mad, Chigiri can catch you.
I'm like, that's a damn lie. You know you won.
I'd say, then how come Chigiri stole the ball from you? And I'd say, you stupid black. Hey, I'm just playing. But I'd say, you stupid idiot. And he'd look at me. And he'd start doing that weird ass laugh again. And I'd look at him. I'd say, what that's supposed to do? And I'd get ready. And I'd start stretching. And then all of a sudden the whistle was blown. And I'd see somebody dash past me. I'd start looking back. I'd say, ain't no way in hell he's that fast. What the hell just happened? And he'd score. And he'd say, gotta try a little bit harder than that. And he'd start doing that weird ass goofy all laugh again.
Y'all want to hear it again?
No,
I got you.
no. And chill out with that one piece ass laugh.
My laugh, so that's why they call me Kite.
That's where I heard that laugh from. But yeah. So I'd say just cause you a bit fast don't mean nothing. And I'd start getting ready. And then the whistle would be blown and he'd see me kick the ball. I'd say level 1, finishing kick. But then all of a sudden I'd hear him laugh again.
Practice for.
And he'd get there and chest bump the ball. I'd say, I know I didn't kick it as fast as I could, but he stopped that.
I'm like, yo, nah, you scored this.
And he'd kick the ball downfield, and I'd say, where the hell is Nagi? And then I'd sense somebody behind me, so I'd turn around and start running. I said, ain't no way in hell he ran past me. I was so sure that I'd score that I let my guard down. She don't see it. What the hell, JD? Oh, here. And so I'd dash, and I'd be almost there. But then Nagi would do his ball control. I said, shit, I forgot about his ball control. And he'd kick the ball in, scoring them their third goal. And I'd say, fine. And I'd kick the ball in the center, and I'd be ready. And as soon as the ball would be, as soon as the ball would be. As soon as the whistle was blown, I'd dash forward. And I'd be face to face with Kisei. And I'd hit a roulette behind him. But then he'd also hit a spin, getting back in front of me. I'd say, the hell? Is he trying to copy my moves? So I'd do rapid scissors and I'd pass it to Bachira. But then all of a sudden I'd say, got you. And he'd be dashing towards Bachira, and then he'd notice the ball never left my foot. And I'd be running towards the goal. And I'd see Chigiri up, so I'd pass him the ball.
I'm like, I don't think you're scoring this. Yo, Nagi, do it.
And Chigiri kicked the ball at the goal, but then all of a sudden Nagi would jump in front of it, controlling the ball, and he'd kick it over his head to Rayo, who would dash upfield, passing it along past him with some random teammate they have. But Kisei would be like, oh, it did not say pass me the ball, and he'd ram into Rayo, not like, tripping him up or punching him. Like, he'd bump it to him, making him fall. Then he'd take the ball, shooting again. I'd say, you're not scoring this time.
I'm like, I don't have to.
And his eyes would turn black a bit. Like, it ain't fully, but it turned a bit black.
I'm not.
And the ball would hit my foot. And I'd be trying to control the ball. And then it just roll off my foot and fall into the goal. And I'd be looking down, shocked. And I'd be like, what the hell was that? And Ego would come over the intercom. Okay, my diamonds in the roast. I guess it's the first to 10 or the first one with the most points. And basically how the rest of this game was turning out, they were whooping our ass. The score would be 8-6. And I'd be standing there. Let's see. So Kisei evolved. No wonder he was beating my ass like this.
I'm like, time for me to switch teams now. I'm like,
I'd say no.
I only need 2 more points.
I'd say no. Stay your ass over there.
No, I'm like, I need 2 more points.
I'd say nah. I got this.
To tie.
All right, hold up. I gotta pause. You can turn that off. You can just put it. So I'd tie up my hair. I'd say, yo, Kisei, it's time. I'd say, nah. I said me. And with my hair tied up, my hair's tied up. It doesn't look like it. Hold on, let me go back to it. A lot of pictures. This is how my hair is tied up, by the way. Sorry about the cars.
What the hell was that for?
I don't fucking know, but they loud as hell for no reason. Huh? That's your mama's? No? So, my hair is tied up like this, right? And I take off my jacket. And once I take off my jacket, I'd say, all right, it's time for us to end this. No, it's time for me to end this. And the whistle would blow. And Kisei would start running with the ball since we had just got the point before this. That's how we got 7. I just scored. I'm at 6. They have 8. So I dash with the ball. And Kisei saying he'd come up next to me running. He'd say, "You're still not fast enough." And I'd say, "Oi, it's time for me to do something that I didn't think I'd ever want to do. I thought that I'd never need to copy something from you. But no, actually I don't. You remember how I told you there's a guy that's faster than you? I'll just use his technique." And he'd see me kick the ball a bit in front of me. And yes, I'm talking about Julian Loki, you know, like from the World 5. And I'd dash forward. And he'd be able to catch up with me, you know, on the first, his first thing of speed. But then I'd kick the ball up a bit more, like how he did against Ren. And I'd take off. I'd be dodging everyone on the field, using my dribble skills and stuff. And I'd shoot, scoring 7-8. I'd say, "What's wrong? Not fast enough to keep up?"
I'm like, damn bastard.
And I'd go back, and Chiguru being shocked, he'd say, "What was that?" I'd say, "I copied a move from a guy." I'd say, "I can only use that move 3 times without, my legs giving up. My legs don't hurt yet. The second time I use it, it put a bit of strain on my legs. But the third time, I'll completely fall, not being able to move my legs." And Chiguru would say, "So it's like a double-edged sword." I'd say, "Kinda, yeah." And so I'd say, "What's wrong, Kisei? Y'all got lead up still. What are you gonna do now?"
I'm going to score.
And then once the whistle is blown, Kisei would go to get the ball, but Nagi would take the ball from him, start running upfield. And it's not like he's like running hella fast, but like he'd be running upfield, and Kisei would start running to him. And as soon as Nagi went to shoot, I'd take the ball and I'd pass it to Bachira, and him and Isagi would be passing the ball back and forth. Although I think I got a screenshot of it. I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, like this. And they'd be going upfield. And I'd say, "Yo, Isagi, pass me that ball now." And he'd see my eyes being, that of the egotistical eyes. And he'd be like, "Sorry, but I want to score because I'm a striker." And he'd pass it back to Bachira, dodging and running straight through Nagi and Rayo. And then it'd be Zantetsu on Bachira. Bachira would use the same move he did on Zantetsu. And I'd take the ball once he'd go to move after using that move against him. Again, sorry about the background music. And
No copyright.
yeah, no copyright at all. Cause hey, we can't control people. But you want me to walk up to them and slap them? Hey, turn that off. But yeah, we'd take the ball. No, I'd take the ball, and then Kisei would appear in front of me, and like, you know how Ren was when Sei had ball, he was kind of like hunched over and stuff, and his tongue was kind of hanging out. Yeah, he'd be like that. I'd say, "Whoa, I know I called you a wild beast, but damn, going that far?" And he'd say, "Shut up and give me the ball." And I'd hit a roulette because he just dashed full speed forward. I'd say, "You can't turn yet because, you're moving too fast." No pun intended. No song. Don't try to cross in front of that car. That bitch gonna hit your ass. since that happened, he turned using his hand on the ground, like he put his hand on the ground, and he forced his body to turn, and he started dashing after me. I'd say, I'm not using that move again, and y'all goalie can't stop me, and you're most definitely not stopping me from way back there. So I'd launch the ball, and the goalie would try to touch it. I'd say, nah, not this one. I'd say vanishing shot, level 3. And the ball would disappear right as it touches his hand, and it'd be behind his hand, inside of the goal. And I'd smirk. I'd say, yo, Kisei, why you deteriorated to a beast? What's wrong with you? And I'd say, the score is tied now. And Kisei would get up, and I'd look back at the screen, and Ego would be smiling. He'd say, that's the flow. And I'd say, the flow, huh? I'd say, what is that? And then Kisei would get the ball, and the whistle would blow, and he'd dash past. But I'd steal the ball, and I'd pass it to Chigiri. But then he'd steal the ball from Chigiri, and he'd pass it to Rayo, dashing past Rayo, telling him something, which I couldn't hear because I was too busy trying to chase him down. And while I'm chasing him, he'd look, he'd say, this is my point. And I'd see the ball look like it's coming in dead in between us. So I'd use the move Nagi did on, who was it? Rayo, where he jumped and put his leg under his other leg, tapping the ball. But then all of a sudden, Kisei would hit a roulette behind me, and he launched the ball into the goal. And I'd say, shit, I didn't fully control that. And I'd say, okay, you may do have a trick up your sleeve, but so what? And I'd fall over, and I'd say, damn it, I unintentionally used that move again. I'd say, no worries, I still can use it once more, and I'll use it to score the final point. And he'd get out of the flow, and he'd start breathing a bit heavily, and he'd say, damn it, I can't fully control that yet. And then we see Nagi just standing there like he's a monster that wants to score. And I'd look up, seeing there was only 10 minutes left on the clock. I'd say, okay, hey yo, Isagi, let's use that move. And as soon as the whistle was blown through the microphone, or the whistle was blown, me and Isagi would kick the ball, but it wouldn't be like normal. Bachira would have passed it into the air, and we both would have did an aerial combat bicycle kick. And I'd say, vanishing shot, level 5, is finalized kick. And then I'd land, but we both land only after Isagi says direct shot. And once we land, we both say at the same time, unblockable shot. And Kisei and the goalkeeper both would try to block it. Kisei with his leg, and the goalkeeper with both his hands, even using his head trying to stalk the ball. And I'd say, what are you guys holding? The ball's behind you. And the ball would be in the goal.
Oh, bro got Batmobiles.
You got what?
Bro got Batmobiles, bro.
No. And so I'd be standing there, and I'd say, all right, everyone, it's time to get this back. We can't let them win. And Kisei going back into his flow state, like he has semi-control over it. Like, it's only when he's like angry or like focused, and he'd be completely focused. Like, he'd be drooling. I'd say, Hey, yo, you kind of slobbing.
I'm like, shut the hell up.
And then the
finna
whistle
win.
was blown, and he dashed past. But Chigiri would be in front of him saying, "Oh, you thought you were getting past me this time?"
I forgot. I was like, you forgot one thing. River rotation. So my mom called me.
Well, I'll continue since it's about 30 minutes. He'll have to put his videos together, but it'll be fine for
We
me.
coming down the street. We coming down the street.
And so,
Mom.
since
Mom.
that happened, I'd be
We coming down
standing
the street
there
right now.
while he's dashing upfield. I'd say he only has that river rotation. It's just him moving in like multiple loops and then going with the ball. So if I were to come behind him from an angle he doesn't notice, and then Isagi would be behind him and I'd be on the other side. I'd say, "Isagi, you heard me?" And Isagi would go, "Yeah, I heard." And I'd say, "Okay, let's finish this." And Isagi would pop up in front of him while I'm still behind him. And Kisei would go to use river rotation again, spinning around. But as soon as he spun, I'd take the ball. I'd say, "Thank you."
And I said, say Tessie, get him.
And when Zantetsu would come, I'd say, "Yo, Bachira, catch." And Bachira, who was directly behind Zantetsu running upfield, I'd toss it over my head into Bachira. And Bachira would trap the ball using, his foot. And he'd be running upfield, like he'd be dashing. But, he isn't that fast. So Zantetsu and Kisei would catch up to him. But Chigiri would get in front of both of them. And he'd kick the ball to Isagi. And Isagi would say, "Yo, Izuku, my leg is kind of hurting, so you're going to have to take this last shot."
I'm like,
And I'd say, "Gladly."
nah, grab it.
And once the ball would get there, Nagi would try to trap it. But then all of a sudden, I'd say, Damn it. What's going on?" I could see everything in slow motion. It's like they aren't moving. And so I'd start walking. And I'd walk up to Nagi. And I'd kind of move his foot over. And then I'd see Kisei, who was behind him. I'd say, "I didn't even notice him." And I'd turn Kisei around. And then I'd go back into my spot, getting ready to take the shot. But then all of a sudden, everything will start back moving. I'd say, so that's my flow. Slow. Everyone seems so slow when I activate my flow. What is my original skill? And I'd start thinking. And I'd be thinking. I'd say, my original weapon.
Marlo got his bait jacket on.
Huh.
Yeah, his bait jacket on.
Who that?
That's Marlo.
Are they coming through here?
Marlo, you can't wait to put on that jacket.
What's up?
What the hell is wrong with you?
What you mean? What I
Put
did?
that big ass jacket on, man.
Hell, big ass
Nah, it
boy,
ain't.
Huh?
Nah, I haven't
Find out
wanted.
you got a pistol on that motherfucker or something, man.
Come on, man, you just start the drip. I was gonna drip behind you, man.
Man, you silly, man.
What up,
You can't
Marlo?
wait to put on that jacket.
But sorry about the interruption. So, I'd say that's it. My old weapon that I don't use anymore. And everybody would start back moving. And they'd see me smiling. And then they'd see my eyes go back to being black with my pupils being white. And they'd say, he's in that mode again. And Kisei would say, what's up? Kisei would say, he's not in control again. That's good. I could still... Wait, why am I turned around? And Kisei would turn back around, dashing, trying to steal the ball from me. But then he'd see me dribble, and then I'd say, indefinite goal. and he'd see me dash using that skill that I only can use once again. I'm using sorry it's so loud. We're in between two cars. That's kind of annoying, but be quiet. We on chill out, bro. But we'd be dashing, and I'd smile. I'd say, "Yo, Kisei, you can't keep up with this speed, right?" And his flow would activate, making him a bit faster. And he'd say, "Yeah, but once you start getting tired," I'd say, "That's the thing. My old weapon that I completely forgot about. One of the reasons why I never got tired is because my weapon is infinite stamina." And he'd see me dash in a circle, like not in like a full circle. Like I'd hit a 180 around him, and then I'd hit another 180 when he'd go for the ball, and I'd kick the ball in. I'd say, "Vanishing shot, level 4," and I'd start falling after I kicked the ball, because I had stopped running, meaning that was my legs gave out. Once I kicked the ball, I'd start falling. And Kisei, who was dashing after the ball, I'd use my arms to try to get up, and I'd push my legs off the ground using my core strength, and I'd start handstand walking, and I'd say, "I gotta score the ball," but then I'd look up, and I'd see the ball in the goal. I'd say, "Kisei, it looks like I won our little game." Oh, yo, my man. I don't see.
actually missed. Tell him.
Hey, bro,
Will he
stop
get the ball
yelling.
again?
Shut up.
Yeah.
You ain't care.
Will he get the ball again?
I wasn't even listening to you. Y'all mama here?
Yeah.
What shit? Hold up. Oh yeah, you can say your own intro. I mean outro. But after that we'd recruit Nagi and Rayo. We're not getting Zantetsu because we already have 2 speedsters. We don't need the third. So. Alright.